September 17, 2025 on this reel. And happy birthday, Steve Percy. You know, I believe in karma. And I believe that all these late night talk show hosts like Stephen Colbert, who's been canceled, probably be canceled before next year, Seth Myer, Jimmy Fallon, John Oliver. Jimmy Kimmel's the worst. Guy's not about comedy. He's a weaponized political assassin. He said some negative things about my hero, Charlie Kirk, but Nexstar did not like that. Gary over at Nexstar, who I saw a posting from Nexstar to confirm this, because I used to work for ABC 7, 97, 98, 99 when I was the astrologer entertainment reporter on ABC 7 Los Angeles for 400 shows. And when Nexstar speaks, people listen because Kimmel can't get distribution without Nexstar. So Jimmy Kimmel will not be on the air tonight. I'm so sorry for all you liberal, woke, wannabe, whatever people that think that Jimmy Kimmel is so good for America when he is the single most divisive factor in the history of this country. He worked for K-Rock just like I did. He was on Loveline, I think, too. I don't know him, but he makes me nauseous. I think he's going to go away. It was Gary Weltman, EVP and Chief Communications Officer at Nexstar, G. Weltman at nexstar.tv, 972-373-8800. Here's the article. Nexstar affiliates to preempt Jimmy Kimmel Live indefinitely, which means he is off the air, folks. Jimmy Kimmel Live is done. It is finished. It is finite. It is verboten. It is done. So that may be one of the happiest things I've heard during the tail end of this most weirdest, unpredictable, surreal moon wobble we've probably ever had, including the assassination, death of Hulk Hogan, Ozzy Osbourne, also of Robert Redford, Charlie Kirk, and now, this. So that's good. I really think that what happened. See what happens when you get old. I really think that karma is real. And I really think in order to have our freedom of speech restored, we need to have the propaganda machine and the lies stopped. Because the media, the liberal-owned media, has been doing nothing but lying to us for years. Ever since Walter Cronkite and Chet Huntley and David Brinkley and all those guys who was trying to be as honest as possible. These late-night talk show hosts and liberal media are totally into brainwashing, with Big Pharma bringing you Major League Baseball, the NBA, and National Football League, trying to programming us all to be sick. And you got an idiot like Jimmy Kimmel bashing everything that's good about America. Everything that has been done. You know what really is sickening? When I did on my reel, the liberal judges are trying to block the tariffs. Tariffs that have already been paid for, $156 billion worth, liberal judges appointed by, of course, Biden. And President Trump is trying to get the world to pay for America so we don't have to be a communist country anymore. The definition of communism has everything to do with the citizens working for the state. It's a two-class system, the ruling class and the working class, which is basically what America is, and everybody works for the state, which means everybody gives a percentage of their income, of their property, of their assets to the state on a regular basis. That's communism. We are no longer a republic. As long as we pay income tax and property tax, we are a communist country. I don't want to, mislead you liberal Democrats out there that keep voting for the Communist Party. Oh yes, you better believe the Democratic Party is communist because they're the ones that raise all the taxes in the local, the state, and the federal level. And if you don't get that, look around. But anyway, there are some states that are banning property tax. Well, that might save me like, $12,000 a year? But anyway, If President Trump can get the world to pay for America, and if he could get rid of the property and the income tax, that's going to throw $1 trillion into our economy. We're talking prosperity and the American dream being realized. And people are all hating on that. Now, why would people hate on President Trump unless they were an elitist Democrat communist that's in the elite class that appreciates everybody, working their ass off? And of course, giving away the rest to people that don't work. No, folks, I'm sorry. I may be Ukrainian third generation, but I'm an American. And I don't like this communist crap. And I'm tired of people not being in denial about it. We pay so much money to the state. Sales tax, property tax, luxury tax, death tax, income tax, cigarette tax, gasoline tax, alcohol tax. I mean, what? A free country should have no tax. And that would happen if our liberal judges would allow President Trump to control the income of America as a business when it comes to tariffs. We could literally reduce our deficit and fund our defense budget with tariffs. Hey, Harlan. Semper Fi, Harlan. Adelphoi Desmond Pontes. I'm so sick of people going to the ballot box and voting for these same bozos that are funded by Big Pharma and everybody that wants to keep the tax system in place to keep you enslaved to the system, to the government. I'm so sick of people blindly going to the voting booth and voting for someone that's already had 10 terms. And they've screwed the hell out of America. These people that have been in Congress, these lifers, who do you think is responsible for the $35 trillion deficit? Who do you think is responsible for the income tax code? Who do you think is responsible for the property tax code? It's those Democrats that run your local, state, and federal taxes. But you keep voting for them. Do you know what the Republican Party stands for? You have any clue? First of all, they were established to protect the black man. The Republican Party was established to protect the inalienable rights of black citizens of America. Next of all, they're in favor of little government and lower or no taxes. That's Republicans. That's me. These dumbass Democrats, they get elected because the elitists, the elitist communists that want to keep us at our knees. They want to keep the American people, the patriots, beholding, working their asses off to pay their bills, to pay their taxes, keep that deficit high so inflation doesn't go away. It's crap. It's crap. People like Jimmy Kimmel need to go away because they're lying to everyone. People like me, on the other hand, need to be heard. A, we're a communist country. B, we're going to stay communist as long as we're paying a big price to live here. Let me explain something to you. If you don't know what the mafia is, I'm the godfather. I'm going to send somebody over to your house every month to collect the protection money. We're going to collect it in various ways. We're going to collect the gas tax, cigarette tax, alcohol tax, property tax, luxury tax, death tax, of course, income tax, and sales tax. That's how the mafia works. That's communism. Everything goes to the frickin' family. Does that sound like a free democratic society to you? It's not. It's a big mafia. Now, President Trump comes along and wants to change that. He wants to make us charge protection money to the world and free America of the beast. Talk about Antichrist, 666, the beast. It's in Bill Gates. People that want to keep Americans at their knees. I'm not pointing fingers, Bill. People that want genocide, they want to exterminate us by poisoning our food, our water, our air, genetically modifying our vaccines, by poisoning our children, our livestock, our food chain. What the hell is wrong with this picture? So yes, people like Jimmy Kimmel need to go. He needs to go to Italy and get on TV there and learn some Italian and leave us alone. And these liberal judges that are blocking the tariffs, that's helping pay our bills and and helping put America back on its feet and maybe getting rid of the tax code? Maybe getting rid of the Fed? Come on, guys, this is 2025. We're ancient. We're still being taxed to death. Let's see, I paid $35,000 income tax and $12,000 property tax. So I paid $47,000 to live in America. That's nearly $4,000 a month. Thank you. No. I don't like it. Shouldn't have to pay that. I'm a senior citizen. Should be able to live on my ranch without having to pay property tax. And I should have stopped paying income tax when I started collecting Social Security. But these dumbasses in Congress, while they're so busy putting up trillion-dollar bills to infinity, are doing three things they need to do. 1, get rid of the property taxes. 2, get rid of income taxes. 3, get rid of the Fed. But the biggest thing they need to do is prevent the liberal judges from blocking President Trump from collecting trillions of dollars in foreign tariffs off of goods that are sold to America. And that's common sense. I would have run for president except, my gangster past and my organization with the Ukrainians in St. Louis. I know, everybody in the toy business, my dad, that's why I got laid off from ABC7, because Freddie Malloris was the godfather of the sex toy industry. They want to put me in political office. They're like, hey, he was a womanizer who sold sex toys. No, it's my family, dummy. But anyway, they do anything they can to make you look bad when you're good. As in Charlie Kirk, who was the greatest man next to Christ that ever lived, in my opinion. And they killed him. And people talk down about that. Wow. Talk about a free ticket to hell? You talk down about the Charlie Kirk assassination and make it anything other than one of the most horrible acts in American history? Dude, you're dooming your soul. I'm sorry. You're brainwashed. You're a sheep. You're a woke sheep. And you know what? I don't know where you're headed. But if you want to know what my opinion of hell is, it's being in the dark with nowhere to go, nothing to do, no one to talk to, all alone, forever. Yep. Infinite nothingness. So go ahead. You go ahead. But no, I salute Jimmy Kimmel going off the air. And I praise God and I ask Jesus to protect Charlie Kirk with all of his might, because he was a great man. And anybody on my friends list, anybody that gets near me, God forbid, you want to see how fast I can throw a left jab? Then you talk down about Charlie Kirk in my face and I will hit you. Talk about raging bull. Americans, we're so divided. You got the one side that it's logical and fighting for freedom. You got the other side that's totally brainwashed and completely stupid. Sorry, no offense. I used to be a dumbass Democrat. No more. Oh yeah, that's after my family died and I had to give millions to Barack Obama as payment to the communist country. Yes, America's communist. Y'all have a nice day. This video will self-destruct in 30 days.